for all those who desired it. We started small, as most things do. A one-room school in Brooklyn established by the Vincentian community where the sons and daughters of the newly arrived and the working class could find the opportunity they dreamed of. That dream has grown from a handful of priests teaching a tiny student body to become St. John's University, the largest Catholic institution of higher learning in the nation, a university consisting of 11 colleges, schools, and institutes with campuses in Queens and Staten Island. A university of more than 19,000 students pursuing 90 different majors, studying both close to home and far away. The dream has grown, but the desire, the need remains, an education for all those who desire it.
Today, we recommit ourselves to that vision and to that fundamental principle of respect for the human person upon which this institution was founded. Faithful to that vision, I pledge to the faculty and administration of St. John's University that I will dedicate my efforts to preserving an atmosphere for such learning and to providing the resources necessary to ensure that atmosphere. I pledge to the students of St. John's University a deep personal concern for each of you and the constant challenge to you to grow in your respect for the dignity of all. I pledge to the alumni of St. John's University fidelity to the mission and to the solid traditions of this institution, ever conscious of those challenges which await us as we approach the 21st century.
The dream has grown, an education for all those who desire it. Not just Catholic, but Protestant and Jewish and those of all faiths. Not just men, but women too. Not just white, but of all colors, all races, all nationalities. Not just New Yorkers, but from across the nation, across the world. Over the years, hundreds of thousands have shared the dream, graduating, taking their places in society, touching the lives of all America, sharing in the political decisions of our city, our state, and our nation, contributing to the growth of American business and industry, participating in the economic, legal, academic, religious, cultural, communications, scientific, athletic, and the social life of our country. The beneficiaries of this dream, the graduates of St. John's University, the students of St. John's, our future students, have shared, will share their own dreams with all of us. Not all will become political figures, not all CEOs, not all distinguished men and women of note. Most dream more modestly, though their aspirations are no less distinguished. To raise a family, to earn a living, to contribute in their own way to our city, our state, and our nation. They are the fabric and the binding of our society. These men and women of St. John's are our past, our present, our future. Some make the big decisions. Most are satisfied to keep the wheels turning. All contribute in their own way with their own talents, talents developed and honed at St. John's. The dream began more than 120 years ago. Who then could have imagined, even in reverie, where the dream would lead? To keep the dream alive, to carry us into the next century and meet the yet unimagined challenges that lie ahead, St. John's must build upon the excellence already achieved. The university's Board of Trustees has authorized Phase 2 of the campaign for St. John's University, expanding on excellence, and set a goal of $50 million. Chairman of the campaign is Robert J. Crimmins, trustee of the university and executive vice president of Metropolitan Life Insurance Company.
When I was a young man, I was one of those who dreamed of a college education. St. John's was there to help make that dream come true. I want to keep that dream alive, to help make it come true for others like me, others like you. To expand on the excellence that is St. John's, to keep our dream alive and well, we've identified several needs that must be met if the university is to continue its impact in the years to come. Of the $50 million we will raise, $27 million will be allocated to construction and renovation. We must build 2 new buildings. Newman Hall to provide specialized support services for both undergraduate and graduate studies, and Finley Hall so that the St. John's Law School can produce new generations of well-prepared legal counselors. We plan to construct a campus ministry center as an addition to the Chapel of Our Lady of Lourdes to serve the religious needs of all faiths. And major construction and renovation projects are overdue on the Staten Island campus. $2 million has been earmarked to expand and upgrade the library. We must attract and retain the brightest and best faculty. For that purpose, $10 million of the $50 million raised will fund endowed chairs of learning, and $3 million for endowed professorships. Last year, the university provided over $14 million of its own monies in financial aid to more than 5,000 students, an average of $2,740 per participant. Our goal is to add $8 million in scholarship and financial aid endowment. This will enable us to continue to recognize and reward academic excellence, to increase scholarships for minority students, and to provide financial assistance to all those in need. Just as the dream of Bishop Lachlan back in 1870 became the St. John's of yesterday, just as the dedication and heritage of the Vincentian community kept that dream alive and created the St. John's of today, your participation in our Expanding on Excellence campaign will lead the way to St. John's of tomorrow. Come share that dream with me, with the generation yet to come, with our university's president, Reverend Donald J. Harrington.
You've heard a lot about dreams during the past few minutes. For students here, St. John's is more than a dream. It is the realization of a goal. St. John's University, with its Vincentian tradition of respect for the human person, merits your thoughtful, generous financial support.
The dream that is St. John's is one of a treasured educational resource whose presence makes an invaluable contribution to the quality of life, not only in New York, but whose alumni have touched all America, adding to our nation's greatness. We invite you to help us keep that dream alive, to fulfill it for those yet dreaming, to build and expand on the excellence St. John's has achieved.